Tehran needs credible guarantees against attacks before Gulf can be stable.
Nghe An. Socioeconomic development achieves positive results in April.
Nghe An makes efforts to meet coastal tourism accommodation demands.
Hello everyone, you are watching today's news on NTV channel. My name is Đăng. Let's get started. Tehran's envoy to the United Nations affirmed that all Gulf countries will not have stability and security if Iran's security is not firmly guaranteed.
In the name of God, the compassionate.
Speaking at a UN Security Council session, Amir Saeed Iravani stated that lasting stability and security in the Persian Gulf and the wider region can only be achieved through a durable and permanent cessation of aggression against Iran, supplemented by credible guarantees of non-recurrence and full respect for the legitimate sovereign rights and interests of Iran. The Iranian representative's warning comes as Iran has just submitted a new three-phase peace negotiation framework to the U.S. The first phase focuses solely on negotiating an agreement to completely and permanently end the conflict. Iran insists that negotiations on the subsequent stages of the proposal, focusing on the Strait of Hormuz and the nuclear program.
The defendant Cole Thomas Allen faces 2 counts of federal gun crimes and one attempting to assassinate President Trump during the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Cole Allen could face life imprisonment if convicted. In addition, the suspect is accused of illegally transportation of a firearm and ammunition over state lines with the intent to commit a felony and discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence. U.S. officials said the suspect used a handgun and carried other weapons. Attempting to bypass security approximately 20 minutes after President Trump arrived, the suspect, Allen, will remain in custody until his bail hearing on April 30 to determine if he qualifies for bail before trial.
Nghệ An's socio-economic growth momentum was maintained and achieved many positive results across various industries and sectors in April. This was the conclusion reached during the Provincial Party Standing Committee meeting on the socio-economic situation in April and key tasks for May. The meeting was chaired by Provincial Party Secretary Nguyễn Thị Minh Khai.
In April, industrial production continued its strong growth momentum, with the Industrial Production Index estimated to increase by 23.2% over the same period last year. The cumulative figure for the first 4 months is estimated to have risen by 19.66%. The province has completed more than 1.700 social housing units, with 548 units finished in 2026 alone. Budget revenue is estimated at over 12 trillion Vietnamese dongs, reaching over 50% of the annual estimate and increasing by more than 30% year-on-year. Public investment capital has been detailed for nearly 9.9 trillion Vietnamese dongs, accounting for more than 71% of the total plan. The province approved investment policies for 18 new projects and adjusted 58 existing projects. The total newly registered and additional capital reached over 65 trillion Vietnamese dongs, an 8.74-fold increase compared to the same period. FDI attraction reached $788 million, with the goal of achieving a growth rate of over 10% in the second quarter of 2026. The provincial party secretary requested the accelerated implementation of key works and projects, while focusing on resolving difficulties for investors and enterprises.
Coming up next are some updated news.
South Korea's SK Group is stepping up its presence in Vietnam with plans to develop an AI data center linked to the Queen Lap LNG to power project in Nghe An province. Under the agreements, SK aims to position itself as a strategic partner in Vietnam's national AI strategy. Focusing on 3 pillars: digital infrastructure, energy and industrial applications, a key component is the proposed development of an AI data center in Nghe An. Integrated with the Queen Lap LNG power project, in which SK Innovation is involved in developing a complex including a roughly 1.5 gigawatt LNG-fired power plant, an LNG import terminal and a dedicated port. Two member companies, SK Innovation and SK Telecom, will collaborate on the implementation. The integrated model between power generation and data infrastructure is expected to optimize costs, ensure stable operation, and thus promote the development of high-tech industries in the north-central region.
The Vietnamese government has just issued regulations on the international exchange of greenhouse gas emission reduction results and carbon credits, marking an important step in the roadmap to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. Accordingly, Vietnam allows the international transfer of up to 90% of carbon credits for certain emission reduction projects, especially those with new, high-cost technologies. This policy aims to both attract foreign investment in the emission reduction sector and ensure the fulfillment of national commitments under the Paris Agreement. At the same time, establishing a clear legal framework for the carbon market is expected to create incentives for businesses to participate more strongly in greenhouse gas reduction activities.
Noi Bai International Airport forecasts a 10 to 15% increase in passenger and flight volume during the April 30th to May 1st holiday period compared to the regular flight schedule, with the peak day falling on April 29th. Specifically, on this day, the airport expects to serve 652 flights, a 9.4% increase compared to the regular schedule in the same period in 2025. The estimated number of passengers is 113,631, a 15% increase. Airport representatives stated that despite market fluctuations in supply and fuel prices, growth remains stable, especially thanks to new airlines and increased international flight frequencies. From April 29 to May 4, 2026, Noi Bai will implement enhanced aviation security control at Level 1, the highest level of vigilance, to ensure absolute safety during the peak travel period.
The 2026 summer tourism season is kicking off across the coastal localities of Nghệ An. According to forecasts from hotels and guest houses, the influx of tourists is expected to rise sharply, leading to an ever-growing demand for accommodation. Proactively staying ahead of this trend, many establishments have focused on upgrading infrastructure and refreshing their resort service products.
In Queen Anne Commune, there are currently 18 accommodation facilities with nearly 400 rooms. Many units continue to expand their scale and add new rooms. Simultaneously, several projects are in the upgrade phase, ready to be put into operation for this year's summer season. The commune has organized meetings with local accommodation establishments to thoroughly review regulations, ensuring that restaurants and lodging facilities strictly comply with the law, welcoming tourists in a civilized manner to best serve their needs. In Kua Lo, the accommodation market is recording a clear shift. Resort products emphasizing green spaces and privacy are gaining increased attention. Furthermore, the trend of traveling in small groups and families is becoming a popular choice. In the near future, we will launch 3 new villa products, focusing on nature and lush greenery. We hope this will bring a prosperous tourism season in 2026. The quality of hotel and guesthouse services along coastal tourist areas is improving significantly. A series of high-end projects have been invested in and put into operation, contributing to changing the face of Nghệ An's coastal tourism towards a more professional and modern direction. In 2026, Kua Lo Ward has 5 newly built accommodation facilities being put into operation. Among them is a 4-star standard hotel expected to open this summer. Currently, the entire ward has about 300 hotels and guesthouses, with over 12,000 rooms. We have the capacity to accommodate 30,000 staying guests. Strong movements in investment, upgrades, and innovation of accommodation services are creating positive momentum for Nghệ An's coastal tourism. This preparation is expected to bring a vibrant 2026 summer tourism season, while contributing to enhancing competitiveness and promoting sustainable development in the future.
This is the end of the show today. Thank you for watching.